Hello, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or any major Taurus placements, or just anybody watching this video. Up to you and whatever you want to do. But this is going to be the yearly reading for 2023 for Taurus placements. So what we're going to do today is we are going to get our theme cards, one from the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck, and then one from the Alchemy deck. The Archetypes deck being that major theme, kind of what's going on for the year, the overarching energy. And then the Alchemy deck, really talking about transformation, what energy is changing and transforming through the year, through 2023, and how that energy might progress or change. It might tie in with the energy of the archetype card specifically, maybe, or it could be kind of completely separate. It just kind of depends. It's been different for me depending on when I do this reading for myself and how the energy looks and progresses and changes. So those will be our theme cards, our major energy for the year. And then we're going to break down the year a little bit more with the tarot, the Wild Unknown Tarot, and the Animal Spirit deck. So we'll get 4 cards, one for each quarter of the year. So first quarter being January, February, March, and then April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So one for each quarter here. And then we'll get a clarifying card from the Animal Spirit deck just to see how that energy maybe is changing depending, or what it means specifically. It varies a little bit too for how that energy is clarified with the Animal Spirit deck for the tarot. So Taurus, let us get started now. Let's get our major energies here. I'll get our cards out of the way over there and over there. Okay, so start with archetypes here. Archetypes deck, what is the theme for my Tauruses, Sun, Moon, Rising, major Taurus placements? Whoever's watching this video, but Taurus. The theme for Taurus for 2023, please. Oh, okay, that fell over there. Let's see what it is. The temple. Making me work for it. Okay, so the temple is the major theme here for you, Taurus. Cool. Get these back in their box so I can keep my everything clean. Okay, now let's get our Alchemy deck open here and get a card. Okay, Alchemy deck for my Tauruses, Sun, Moon, Rising, Taurus placements, anybody watching this video, for 2023. How is energy changing and progressing and evolving for Taurus in 2023? In regards to the temple, if needed. It's the energy for Taurus for 2023. It's too many cards. Okay. Okay. Energy for Taurus, please, for 2023. Major theme for Taurus for 2023. There we go. Thank you. Okay, so that is vinegar. Okay, get these back in too. I did the reading for Aries already and my cards ended up everywhere, so we're going to try and keep a little bit cleaner this time around. Thank you for your patience. So your major themes, Taurus, for the year for 2023 are the temple and vinegar. So let us get a little bit closer look at this energy. The theme energy is definitely very important for just our overall picture and tends to be pretty accurate, which is interesting. So let us see. So for my Tauruses here, our energy that we're looking at in 2023, the major themes we're looking at. The temple, really talking about our connection to spirituality, whatever that might be for you. It can vary person to person, of course. It could be a structured religion. It could just be a general spiritual practice. It could be the way you take care of yourself and take care of your body, take care of your family. Whatever you worship in this case, or whatever is like the focal point of your life, right? The deepest of deepest values is that temple energy here, right? So it talks about the temple and the way a forest can be a temple to somebody, right? So a temple is not a far off distant place that we must travel to in order to get it. It shows up in various ways in various places, in poor communities. It could be just that little church at the corner, right? It could be for that person who's really big in nature, that specific outcropping in the forest. It could be so many ways temple is. Like we even like our own body, right? Or a lot of people, you hear that phrasing with the temple being our body being a temple, and the sacredness of that, right? Decorating things to our way, our house being our own temple, right? Having a sacred space, or maybe an altar space. If you're into more like witchcraft, Wicca, kind of that kind of energy, right? The ways temples can be very different things depending on your needs and what you connect to. So the overall theme of spirituality here is very important for you, Taurus, in 2023. This is a big energy. And with the vinegar card, vinegar is a very interesting one. You think about vinegar, you immediately can, the taste, you know what it tastes like. You can taste it on your tongue if you just think about it, right? Vinegar is so strong, but the way vinegar is used in terms of the alchemy deck, in terms of change and transformation, right? It's a distilling process, it's a fermentation process. It's used to transform things from one thing to another, right? So putting a cucumber, for example, in, and you end up changing it and making it a pickle, right? It's that pickling. And that's that vinegar taste coming in and changing and transforming something. Vinegar really talks about the way things can be colored or taken over depending with this vinegar energy, right? So like a specific memory coming in and changing up the whole reading, the whole spread, right? Or the whole feeling. So in terms of like, if we're tying this to the temple, right? There is a bad taste, a vinegary taste left over in terms of maybe a spiritual practice or spirituality, right? Trying to find that spiritual practice again. Like you left your religion potentially, and you are trying to figure out if you still believe in that higher power or whatever it is, where your faith lies now, how you believe in things, what this temple is for you now, because you had so many bad experiences, left over taste of vinegar in your mouth from the negative experiences that happened to you in that old religion, for example. This is just an example I'm using, but however that metaphor maybe applies, right? So vinegar being a specific energy where a little goes a long way, but with it showing up in the reading here too specifically, it gives that vinegar taste across the whole spread, right? It's something that, again, colors the whole situation. It's like putting on tinted glasses where everything, in this case, it's not rose tinted because that's like adds like, oh, hey, it's a over like, ooh, happy feeling to everything. That's not quite the vinegar taste here, but it's like keeping sunglasses on through the whole day, even at nighttime, and everything's darker when it doesn't need to be. It's harder to see things because you have sunglasses on the whole time. That's kind of the energy here with vinegar, and how it colors a reading, how it colors a situation. And with this energy too, right? With vinegar, it's really calling in to pay attention to something. So in 2023 here, we are paying attention to something that is having an influence over the entire rest of our lives, and maybe in something in that is deeper spirituality for us, finding where this temple is. So the pain and maybe trauma we have left over from like religious trauma, for example, the vinegar is the religious traumas. We're trying to figure out what we still believe in terms of our spirituality and our faith. Is just like a good example of how this energy might progress. That might not be your specific situation for those of you watching Taurus. That probably does apply to some people here though. But that's kind of the energy here, where there's just a feeling, emotion, a situation, maybe a bad breakup or something that colors how you view breakups, how you view a relationship, the sacredness, the temple energy of a significant other, maybe a marriage, that sacred temple energy here of a marriage and how you perceive a marriage to be, but you have a bad experience with it and that's that vinegar coming in with like your parents, or you specifically, or a friend, or something like that, right? Where you saw a situation that now colors your view on the entire thing. So this temple energy is a very broad energy too. And then what the vinegar could be is a very broad energy as well. So you'll have to see, we'll get our card specifically and see how that applies a little bit more. But a very interesting lesson here for you, Taurus, in 2023. So we're going to pull these up now. Let us get our cards now. Let's break this down a little bit more for the year. Okay. Wild Unknown, please give me the first quarter energy for Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Taurus major placements, those watching. First quarter energy for 2023. They threw those cards so far over there. Okay, hold on. Okay, so it was laying like this. So I will flip it like that. So that is the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. And they literally threw that card completely over there. So, interesting. Okay. Let's pull these up just a tad more. Put that just a tad more. Okay. So, first quarter energy. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Okay. Wild Unknown, please give me the second quarter energy. So, January, February, March, April, May, June. Second quarter energy for Taurus of 2023. Second quarter energy, please. Thank you. Okay, that is the Emperor in reverse as well. Interesting. So Aries got the Emperor in the exact same in the second quarter, but it was in the upright. Okay, so third quarter energy, please, for Taurus for 2023. Third quarter energy for Taurus for 2023. Thank you. That is the 5 of Cups in the upright. Okay, and fourth quarter energy for Taurus for 2023, please. Do you want it like that? Okay. That is the Moon in reverse with the World in reverse too. Okay. Really wants the World out. Okay. We'll just keep that in mind over there. When the World falls out of your hands twice, you kind of pay attention to her. So, okay. So, first quarter energy, the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse. Second quarter energy, the Emperor in the reverse. Third quarter energy, the 5 of Cups in the upright. And then fourth quarter energy, the Moon in reverse. Okay. So we'll give this a little bit tough spread off the bat, but let us get our clarifying energy with the Animal Spirit deck now, because the clarification does usually make a difference. So, sorry there, Taurus, my computer died. So, okay. So we just showed our 4 cards here. I've got the Animal Spirit cards out. We do have the World in the reverse that I kind of placed off to the side. That I do just want to kind of keep in mind because it popped out twice. So, Animal Spirit deck, please give me clarification on the reverse 9 of Pentacles for Taurus for 2023. Clarification on the reverse 9 of Pentacles. Thank you. That is, the snake. Okay. Let's pull everything up just a tad here. There we go. Okay. Clarification on the reverse Emperor, please. Emperor in reverse. Too many cards. Okay. Clarification on the Emperor. Thank you. That is the horse. And that one fell in between my legs. Okay. Clarification on the 5 of Cups, please. Beaver. And then the Moon in reverse, please. Clarification on the Moon in reverse. Thank you. Raccoon. Hidden things, yeah. Makes sense. Okay. So for my Tauruses here, right, we're looking at the spread for the year. And there's definitely going to be some challenges here. Probably not a surprise to you. I'd be curious to look at your video last year and see how the energy was progressing and changing through. But vinegar for sure is definitely coloring the whole spread here. The way we can look at each of the animal spirit cards and how they either help or clarify the shadowy energy of our tarot cards up here, right? So for our first quarter here, January, February, March, we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, clarified by the snake. And Nine of Pentacles energy, we're talking about like our earthly possessions, our money, our career, that stability, right? Right before we like have it all, everything is good, that 10, that completion energy, that right before. But the 9 here, it's coming in the reverse. And there is, it feels like stumbling before the finish line here almost. Like it's like, oh, we're so close. We're trying to figure out those last bits and pieces, but we misstepped or somebody didn't do what they said they were going to do, and it like messed us up here. It kind of tripped us up. And that's kind of the energy present here, right? Snake really talking about unlimitless potential. We do see that energy here, right? With the Nine of Pentacles, all this energy, all this possibility. We're so close to getting there. That snake uncoiling finally and like showing off and being this really beautiful energy, but clarifying when it needs balance, when it's clarifying this energy that's in the reverse here, where it's like this stop and start energy, where we're trying to we're off here. Things are just not quite balancing. Things are not quite making sense, right? Things are really kind of in the whole spread here. We're a little stagnated. We're trying to figure out how to move through. We maybe had last year, maybe things were really flowing and moving and everything. We go through these ups and down phases and periods of our lives, right? Where things flow really good and energetically and we're in the flow and good things. And then we hit these other points that are more challenging where we are a little bit more stagnated and we're forced to slow down or forced to even stop and reevaluate things and look at things in a deeper way, in a deeper perspective, especially with this World card that's come out twice over here. That again, that right before everything completes, right before everything finishes, this cycle finishes out, and the energy pausing and really trying to figure out a way to move forward, but not quite knowing the way forward here. We're really stalled here, especially in the first quarter, and it feels like for you, Taurus, with the snake energy especially, where it's like, okay, we're trying to maneuver through, we're trying to figure out where to go next, how to progress this energy, because with the temple, right, with this temple energy, with the vinegar energy, with it coloring everything, right, we don't quite know, nothing feels right anymore is kind of what it is. I feel it, for me, the energy I'm picking up is just restless and just I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do with this. I don't know where to go. I don't know what makes sense. We have a hard time kind of trusting our intuition right now, right? Things are very, I can't even get the words out almost, right? That's what it kind of feels like, Taurus, where it's like, okay, I'm not sure what to do, right? I'm not sure how to move forward. I don't know. I feel like things were going so well here, right? Things are moving and progressing so well. And now I'm just I don't know what to do now. I'm not sure what the right path is. I'm not sure which way to go. So we're kind of stopping and starting a lot in the first quarter of the year here for you, Taurus. And where snake comes in, though, if we're trying to put it, I want to put more of a positive spin on it, though, right? Where it's trying to remember here, because keep in mind, we do have free will through this whole, everybody has free will. The way you look at a situation with your free will and how you act on that is going to be super, super important for you, Taurus, because this, I'll be honest, is a difficult spread for sure. Difficult energy. It looks like that is challenging energy, but the way you interact with it and handle it through your free will is going to be super important for how you end up handling it and how you feel through this emotion, okay? Making sure that the vinegar here, the energy that's coloring your entire year, is kept to a minimum for just enough to remind you and keep you moving forward in a positive and progressive way, in a sacred way with this temple energy. as you're moving through these challenges. So with our snake energy, right, taking it in a positive note here, taking it in a positive way, that snake energy, really we're trying to remember here through this first quarter, despite these challenges and setbacks you might have at the beginning of the year, that there is so much potential. There are so many options. There are so many choices here that you can look at and figure out the next new way forward on things, right? Because as we move into the second quarter here, the reverse emperor with clarified by the horse's energy is still consistent here, right? Our emperor usually being a very forward, energetic, masculine energy that is sometimes aggressive, but really like gung-ho sometimes and moving forward, and especially with the horse energy here. But with our emperor coming in reverse, the energy with our emperor in reverse is, again, more of a stagnated energy, an energy that is stalled. I'm not getting the other negative aspects of the card, the reverse aspects of an emperor in reverse card for like the tyrannical energy, the rigidity in it. It just really feels like we can't move forward in the way we want to, right? The energy can't progress forward. And that is the same energy that is when the horse is out of balance, that same energy. However, keeping with the theme of looking at our animal spirit cards with that positive aspect to them, how we can what it really feels like here for you, Taurus, right, is these are the challenges up here, and this is how you balance it out and what you need to remember in order to handle it, right? The horse being that unlimitless potential again, right? That forward moving energy, knowing that you can ride the momentum here, keeping in mind, paying attention to things that are already progressing and moving forward, right? Really trying to capitalize on those things. Not everything in your life is going to be stagnant, so it's really important to pay attention to other areas of your life that do have that flow and movement forward. One area of your life right now, in this case, it looks like is not moving forward in the way you maybe want it to. So capitalizing and keeping your energy moving and progressing forward with this horse energy by paying attention and moving with the things that do have that forward progression, that do have that movement forward, that can keep going and changing and keep your energy flowing in a positive way here, right? So January, February, March, April, May, June here for our second quarter. So with our emperor in reverse here, it's like, okay, hey, these areas of my life are stagnating here. They are not progressing forward how I want. It's very frustrating. Sometimes it can be very frustrating. You're like, okay, what do I do? How do I do this? What makes sense? What do I need to pay attention to? So look at where you have horse energy in your life, where things are galloping and moving forward, right? The horse in this tarot deck is also the Chariot card. The chariot represented by the horse in the Wild Unknown Tarot. That's what I wanted to say. So interesting to look at that, right? That chariot energy, again, that forward moving energy, that progression, that movement, really, really pushing forward on things, making those good choices. So again, while it's like, okay, one area of your life is not making sense, it's kind of stagnated, it's colored by this vinegar energy, this sour, bitter taste in your mouth here on that one. So pay attention to another area of your life that is this more sacred temple energy, this energy where it's like, okay, let me honor this, let me love this, let me take care of this. Where can I progress my energy forward? That in a way that is going to work and make sense here, because I'm running into a brick wall here with this energy. So let me progress this energy then. That's going to be the most beneficial for you through the second quarter, it feels like here, Taurus. Keep that in mind, okay? Because we move then into our third quarter here. We have the Five of Cups and then the Beaver energy. And again, it's very specific, as it's been through this entire spread so far, which is really, really interesting. The reverse of the Beaver energy, the out of balance energy for the Beaver, ties in heavily with our Five of Cups. However, looking at it in the positive is going to be super important as well. So our Five of Cups energy, right? The disappointment, right? Really kind of like feeling like, okay, hey, none of this is kind of going right. None of this is going how I wanted it to. None of it is working in the way I wanted it to. With our Five of Cups here, really feeling those setbacks again, really feeling those disappointments, right? And when our Beaver energy is out of balance, that's feeling tired and worn out, right? The Beaver energy being a very diligent and hardworking energy. But that is the energy, again, to what's needed to help kind of bring things into balance here, Taurus, with our Five of Cups energy, where it's like, okay, yes, we had these disappointments, right? We had these things that are setbacks and that we are disappointed by, but we can't turn back time. We can't change things. This is the situation we're dealing with now. This is what we're working with. And it's going to be important to just kind of keep working through, right? The beaver energy being a very diligent energy at the same time, capitalizing on the energy, the progression energy moving forward with the horse here, right? The beaver energy, it's like, okay, it takes the opportunity to cut down the trees it needs and uses the river to get them to the area it needs where it's building this dam and flowing with that energy, right? Beaver energy tying in heavily with the water here, right? These are earth cards. This is you got a lot of earth cards, actually 3 earth cards for our animal spirit, and this is our 1 water card in terms of suits for the animal spirit deck. And water flowing with that energy, flowing where you can again, right? So finding opportunities like with the horse energy at the previous quarter where you can keep flowing other energy in your life where things are stagnating. Paying attention, of course, to your emotions, beaver tying heavy into the emotions and the water energy and our feelings, again, and especially with our 5 of cups, also tying in the cups being the suit of water, of our feelings, those emotions, what they represent, right? You have 2 major arcanas here, and then you have an earth suit with our pentacles and a water suit with our cups. And the water energy is very, very heavy, really tying heavily into our emotions here in the 3rd quarter here for you, Taurus. So for July, August, September, those kind of summer, fall months, beginning of fall months here, are going to be important to just pay attention to really what you're feeling and try and flow your energy through other things, understanding and paying attention to the disappointments you're feeling, what you're like, okay, that sucked, I didn't want that, that is disappointing here, but what can I still work on? What can I keep working at, right? Beaver being a very diligent, hardworking energy, making sure you're not tiring yourself out though, right? Paying attention to that. We don't want to burn out because the possibility is very present here, especially with the other energies that's been around throughout the year for you, Taurus. So paying attention to that, where you don't want to burn out, but we do want to maybe distract in the meantime, right? Not in an unhealthy way, but in a way where it's like, okay, I know I can't do anything else about this situation, so I'm going to work on the things I can do. I'm going to pay attention and put in energy to things I can make changes on, that I can make a difference with, and really trying to put in that work and that service to those areas of your life, because it's going to be super important to keep that energy working, right? So you pay attention to other temples in your life. You maybe pay attention more to your physical health in this time. Pay attention to taking care of your physical body, that temple, right? The sacredness of your friendships, maybe you really put more time and effort into cultivating those and building up the dam energy, the building up the emotions and the feeling in your relationship with your partner, honoring other areas of your life while you're clearing out this vinegar energy in the more stagnated areas of your life, right? Taking off those tinted glasses that are coloring your view on things, right? And we really finish out this energy here, really finish clearing out this vinegar energy in the last quarter of the year for you, Taurus, with our moon in reverse and the raccoon here. So I know in the original Rider-Waite imagery, right, the original Rider-Waite descriptions, the moon talking about is like more negative energy, honestly, and it's the things that are hidden, the things we hide from ourselves, the secretness, sometimes the lies and confusion, right? And this does show up for the moon in the reverse as well, the confusion being really present there, the what's the right word for it? The fear, the lack of communication with our deeper emotions, right? But for me, for the moon, right, this energy is present. The moon is almost a comfort sometimes for me. And the moon energy, when I look at the card, right, it's like the secretiveness of the night, but it's also a time for rest and healing. And while these secrets are present, right, and we see that with the raccoon as well. I'll get to the raccoon in a second here, but the moon really gives us the opportunity and the quiet and the space to really figure out ourselves. That's how it feels to me. That's what, and especially in the wild unknown here, unlike the Rider-Waite, that really is present for me for how the energy is. That's my more personal, intuitive, interpretive reading of it, right? So the night the moon for me being more of a temple space. And with our raccoon energy here, the raccoon kind of ties in with those secrets as well, right? The raccoon, and with the animal spirit book, it talks about the mask we wear, right? The raccoon having the mask over the eyes and those things that are hidden, the masks we wear, the ways we present ourselves, and the raccoon sneaking through the night, right? The moon and the raccoon tying very heavily into each other here. But what I think is important for you, Taurus, in this last quarter here, right? We've been really trying to figure out things. We've been really struggling in a lot of capacities. And maybe this was even in the year prior, potentially here. But with this vinegar coloring the entire situation here, in this last quarter, we're kind of finally figuring that out, right? We are taking off the mask, and that is the shaded glasses I was talking about, right? The covering over our eyes, this vinegar that is coloring everything, that is leaving that taste in our mouth. And whenever we put something else, we're trying to eat something else, that vinegar taste is still present, right? We're finally clearing that energy out by taking off the mask, taking off these shaded glasses that have been coloring this whole situation in this whole year with this moon energy. And really for me and how I'm interpreting it, this sacred temple night space here, really diving in heavily. Again, the moon is tied to our emotions again. That's that feminine energy, the emotions, the deeper intuitive nature of ourselves. And that was present pretty heavily for you with the Five of Cups here in the beaver energy, the only water card that we have in this entire spread for the animal spirits. And honestly, the only water card we have in terms of the other energies here. This tying in more so heavily, right? And we see our balancing here of our sun and our moon. We don't have the Empress to balance the Emperor here, but pretty close, because these are, the tree imagery is pretty common amongst these cards as well, with the sun card and then showing up sun here, and then our tree, the Empress is also a tree, so we have our tree shapes as well. So our moon energy over here, taking the nighttime space, the nighttime energy, the quietness of night, maybe taking that time to journal, really think through things, really think through your life and your situations, Taurus, what's been happening, what you've been dealing with, what you've been trying to figure out in your deeper lessons here, and taking the blindfold off almost, right? We've been almost working with a handicap here is what it feels like. This vinegar taste of, again, coloring everything in the spread, in the whole reading. So balancing this energy out in the long run here, right? These two cards finally balancing each other out, and they almost kind of look the same, right? They have kind of this is almost the like off-colored versions of some of the colors in our temple card over here. So we are taking the opportunity to be in our temple space, that sacred energy, really thinking through things finally, to finally clear out this this vinegar energy, this energy that has been with us for a long time, but that is no longer serving us, the vinegar coming in to remind us of these maybe pains and triggers and emotions that we've been holding on too long, that are affecting our entire lives, that we don't need to hold on to anymore. So in the last quarter of the year for you, Taurus, it really feels like you're kind of finally figuring that out, right? Raccoon really talking about, again, taking off that mask, taking that sneaky, being in the nighttime and that sneaky energy, but we put on a mask because we're trying to protect ourselves, right? We put on a mask because we're trying to present ourselves in a certain way to society, to others, in order to be liked, to be accepted, to make sure that we are taken care of, to protect ourselves. And when we're hitting that authentic vulnerability, right, really being honest with ourselves and true to ourselves, and finding where this hurt and pain is, why we feel the need to put on a mask in the first place, what this leftover vinegar is in our situation here. And we can really honor that space and honor ourselves with our temple here. We can honor that feeling inside of ourselves, the needs we have to still heal and take care of ourselves, being really in tune with our intuition when this is in the upright, getting this into the upright, this moon energy into the upright in the last quarter of the year. Really looking at the moon here and feeling our feelings, realizing what we are hiding from ourselves even. So following the vinegar in the end here is going to be really important, Taurus. Finding where the hurts are, where we are keeping ourselves in the dark. following the vinegar here in order to finally clear it out in the ends and just be in the sacred temple space. Finally, just be in this calm, this peace, taking care of ourselves, taking care of our friendships, taking care of our partnerships, our family, our home, our purpose, all those pieces here, really being able to take care of it and not be colored by our past, not bringing the pain of the past, the trauma of the past into our new future here. So Taurus, you're going through a big lesson here in 2023. It feels like there's big energy happening here. So really keep in mind, it's going to be really important, I feel, for you to just really keep in mind the positive energies of our clarifying cards from at the bottom of the spread here, our animal spirit cards here. Knowing that you have so much potential, there are so many choices and options, finding ways to move other areas forward where you can, knowing that you can push through and there is momentum and energy moving forward and progressing even when it might not seem like it. Really paying attention to your deeper emotions and just taking the time to work on other things, maybe distract yourself in the interim if you need to, working on the things you can when other areas are stagnant, and finally in the end taking the opportunity to look at the masks you've been wearing, the personas you've been putting on, so you can finally be authentic with yourself and coming all the way back around to clearing out this vinegar energy here. Okay, so for you, Taurus, a lot going on in 2023. This will show up for people in various ways, it feels like. The way what this vinegar energy is, what this temple energy is. The temple energy, I think, is the way to honor yourself and take care of yourself. And ultimately, you're clearing the vinegar out of this temple space, is what it feels like. You're clearing this bitterness, this bitter taste out of yourself and a situation that you've been dealing with for a long time, potentially, that's been maybe haunting you for a lot longer than you'd like to think about. So tough energy here, Taurus, challenging energy. I'll say challenging energy, but you, again, your free will is going to be super important here. How you end up perceiving things, how you take care of yourself through this situation is going to be super, super important. Okay, Taurus. So keep that in mind. I want you to keep that energy really, really present in the forefront of your mind. This energy might not resonate with anybody. In that case, check maybe one of your other major signs if you feel the call to do so. But that is what I have for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, major Taurus placements for 2023. I think the year after this one, working through this energy for the year, is going to yield lots of positive effects for you as you move forward and go into your future, Taurus, okay? So keep that in mind. It's just a temporary energy and it will pass, and the way you perceive things is going to be super important for how that energy progresses for you, okay? But this is what I have for you. I hope you do have a wonderful 2023, finding those moments of joy and sacredness with the temple energy here throughout your 2023, okay? But I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.